Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today it is the last video of the year that I have to film and I am doing my December wrap up. I will still have a video going live tomorrow, but I had pre-filmed that, so this is the last thing I have to film for this year. It feels kind of weird, but also I just have like a week that I'm taking off. So anyway, I've read a lot of books in December. If you saw my video yesterday, I talked about how I was cutting off my reading today, and then I'm going to read some Christmas books, and then I'm going to be reading, just rereading for the rest of the year. So I have a lot here. I didn't do a mid-month wrap-up because I didn't think that I would have this many, and I was already planning on doing 2 wrap-ups, so I have all of these, and then I spent most of the month reading Christie books, so I will have a separate video up about those in January, but including those and not including the Christmas books I want to read and the things I want to reread, I've read 26 books. So I had to bring a basket to put them all in because there's so many. We're kind of going about this in a different way than usual. Usually I just go through the order that I read them, and we are going to do that except for these first couple because I want to mention these ones all as one, and this was kind of my other big project for December, and that was all of the or most of the Bridgerton books by Julia Quinn. So I'd read books 1 and 2 earlier this year, and then I read 3 to 8, this is not the order, so that I could watch the new Netflix adaptation on Christmas Day. Okay, so I'm gonna have a post that goes up on my blog on Boxing Day where I'm gonna rank, or I have already ranked them, and I'll link that below when that's live. So I'm just going to go through very quickly and give you my star rating for them so that this video isn't super long. So book 3 is An Offer from a Gentleman. Rated this one 4 stars. Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, also 4 stars. To Sir Philip with Love, gave this one 3.5. When He Was Wicked, 3. It's In His Kiss, 4. And On the Way to the Wedding, which is 3.5. So yes, Bridgertons, we'll link that post below when it is live, and we'll jump into these other ones now. I'm hoping this video won't be too long, so a couple of them I'm just kind of gonna brush over a little where I don't really have a lot to say. But okay, I started the month off with How Green Was My Valley by Richard Llewellyn. This was the oldest book on my TBR, so I'm so happy that I read it. I had this one since 2011, and I really wanted to read it before 2021, and so I picked it up. This was really surprising. I didn't think I would like it. I've tried reading it a few times before and just never got very far into it, but I really enjoyed this. It was a huge surprise. The story isn't particularly interesting to me. This follows a young boy growing up in Wales, and all of his dad and all of his brothers work in this coal mine, and it talks about that and class structure and things like that. This was one of my mum's favourite books, and yeah, no, it really surprised me. It has really beautiful lyrical writing, but it's not pretentious. It's just easy to read, but yeah, beautiful. So that was a very unexpected twist that I loved it, and yeah, one of the better things that I've read this year. I read some more Margaret Atwood. This is Wilderness Tips. This is one that I bought in December and read the next day. This is just some short stories. Yeah, honestly this was alright. I think I gave it 3 stars. Some of the stories in here were really good. Some of them... sorry about that noise. Next up, I read some more romance that wasn't Quinn. I gave my Fake Rake by Ottilie a chance. I didn't like this. I gave this 2 stars. It was just not... It just wasn't for me, and it makes me sad because I really like the tropes in here. It's like fake dating and that sort of thing, and friends to lovers, and I just didn't really feel the spark. So yes, not reading this one. Had another Eva Lee one. I tried to read that after this one just to see. Read a couple of pages, and I just don't like her writing style, so got rid of that one. 2 books off my TBR. There we go. Okay, and then we came to the Hemisphere Christmas Games, which I made a TBR about, and then read one of the books on there. So good job, Ali. Good job. The one from the TBR that I read was Pages & Co. Ottilie and the Map of Stories by Anna James. Love this one. 3rd book in the series. Incredible. And yes, very happy that I read it. I'm not sure if this is the final book. Like, even now I'm not sure, because it kind of feels like it could continue. Also, it could have ended. Who knows? If you know, please let me know. So I also read a book that I had to return to the library, which was Hamlet by Nikki Greenberg. This is a graphic novel adaptation of Shakespeare's Hamlet, so it's pretty much the entire text as far as I could tell, but they're like creatures, and you will see on the screen now some footage that I took of the pages, because they were just so beautiful that I wanted to make sure that I could show you guys them, even though I had to return the book to the library. So I gave this one 4 stars. I like Hamlet, and this is just a really beautiful illustrated version. If you're interested in this one, Nikki Greenberg also did a version of The Great Gatsby, which also has kind of like creatures in it that I really love. Okay, next up, during the Hemisphere Christmas Games, we did the read with us here on my channel, and I read The Camelot Betrayal by Kirsten White. I started this one during the read-in, and in the 2 hours that we did of reading, I got decent way through it. Put it down that night because it was already kind of late. Finished it the next morning. I didn't like this, which makes me really sad, because this is the 2nd book in this series. The Guinevere Deception is the 1st one. Reread it last month. One of my favourite books ever. And this was just missing something for me, and I don't really know what it was. And I think it's just me, because I haven't seen anyone else kind of disappointed. So I think it might have just been my mood. So what I think my plan is, when the 3rd book gets released, I will reread this one and see if it holds me and if I enjoy it more a 2nd time around. But yeah, I gave this one 3 stars for now. Next up, I read Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. This is a fantasy. It draws on Bolivian politics and history. Yeah, I really like this. It's really beautifully written and it's a really good story. It is a little bit strange at times. There were just a couple of things. This isn't a spoiler, but characters die. I'm not going to say what characters, but characters die, and they just die in like slightly odd ways. And yeah, that kind of threw me off it a little bit at times. But the rest of it I really enjoyed, and I believe that there is a sort of sequel companion that comes out next year, early next year. Absolutely stunning cover. Really enjoyed it. Okay, then we got to the part of the year where I had read all of the books that I had set on this personal TBR that I didn't share anywhere or anything like that. And the only ones I had left were Christmas books, and I didn't want to quite get to them yet. Which meant that I just picked up a bunch of random books off my shelves to read, with mixed results. So first up, I went with Red Rosa by Kate Evans. This is a graphic biography of Rosa Luxemburg. I didn't like this one either. I gave this one 3 stars. It was alright, but it just had a couple of issues with it. For one, the writing. The art style is near impossible to follow. Like, it looks very minimalistic, but it's just very confusing, and I didn't know what half the stuff that was happening. And people's heads are just like weirdly disproportionate to the rest of their bodies, and it was just kind of off-throwing, and I just couldn't put myself past that. There's also a lot in here about Marxist theory, and I found that extremely hard to follow. I was much more interested in the biographical elements, which is mostly what this book is, but yeah, there's a lot of Rosa Luxemburg's writings in it, and it's just sort of like, I don't know that stuff. And yeah, it just kind of was distracting, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. But it kind of matches. I mostly picked this one up because it was thin, and I was like, hey, while I've got time, why don't I take off as many books from my TBR as I can? So, next one, The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. 2020 release, Australian. This is about like the creation of the Oxford Dictionary, a whole bunch of stuff in there about the suffragette movement and all that. I DNF this. A lot of people really love this book, and I really loved the first half, and then it kind of just got to this point where this thing happened and I was just bored. So I literally made it like 200 pages in, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just do not care. And yeah, so I just read like the last bit to see kind of how things would tie up, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't continue, because I just think that had I read the whole thing and gotten to the end, I would have just felt underwhelmed. So it's done though. It's off the TBR. Always a good thing. Another story about another one that's done. Obviously, this is Ottilie, Colter and the Withering World by Rhiannon Williams. This is the 3rd and final book in the Narroway trilogy. One of my favourites. Loved this. Thank God. Because I just was really at that point where I was like, I just need something good. I had started this months and months ago when it was released and had put it down for something else and just didn't pick it back up. But it's done. I loved it. It was a great end to the series and just a great book in general. Really loved all the character growth, and it's just a great series. Highly recommend it. I'm hoping, I don't know that this will be a thing, but there's kind of the possibility that it could kind of go into another series like a couple of years later. I'm completely guessing on this. There is absolutely no information or proof that this is happening or is even thought about, but it just kind of ended in that way that I was like, ooh, there's a lot of like hints to future events that could mean that it's something else. Again, it's just me wishing. So yes, but love this. Very happy. Ow, my hair is attached. And then finally ended the year, or my official reading for the year, minus those other ones, with Married by Morning by Lisa Kleypas. This is the 4th book in the Hathaway series. One more book to go after this one. I also didn't like this. I've had a very up and down relationship with this series so far. Loved the first one, hated the second, loved the third, hated this one, hoping that that means that I will enjoy the last one. I was so excited for this one as well, because this kind of relationship has been hinted at the entire series, and I was like, yes, finally, it's here. And then I realized I don't really like either of the characters, or there's just something about this series as well. I don't know if she really did this in the Wallflower series, I can't remember, but she revisits a lot of the characters from the previous books, but she does so in that they get their own perspectives, and it might happen like maybe 3 or 4 times per book, and I just hate that. I really like it when I'm reading a romance book. So for example, with the Bridgerton ones, you get to see the other characters and their story they're hinted at and whatnot, but you never see it from their perspective. That I really like. Getting to see, one of my favourite things about historical romance is that at the end of the book, their story is done. And this one, I know a lot of people probably like seeing them, and I do, but I just don't care about seeing it from their perspective. I would rather they just be side characters and, go on with their lives and whatnot. So yeah, little hesitant to start the next one. I think I'm going to give myself maybe until the end of Jan to read some other things and come back to it and see, and then I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Lisa Kleypas. I don't own any of her others, so I'm going to read some other romance authors which I need to do anyway. But yeah, there we are. That's what I read in December. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys for that last video tomorrow, and then after that I will see you back in January. Lots of exciting videos planned and things like that, so I will see you all then. Thanks for watching.